Hey playa, is there a girl that you want to ask out but you're finding hard to do because you have autism? Well, that's exactly what TomKid4000 said when he asked, how can I ask a girl out because I have autism, which makes it 10 times harder? Don't worry, TomKid, I have a few practical things I think you can start incorporating in your day-to-day experience to make it easier for you to ask out a girl that you like.
This is the Josh Speaks, you're watching the Josh Speak.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. Now, when it comes to dating when you're autistic, just simple interactions can be kind of difficult sometimes. It can be hard sometimes to find someone that you can open up to and connect with. So, I think the first step in really finding someone that you can date is looking within the boundaries of what you feel comfortable with. When it comes to meeting new people, try to get involved in things that center around your hobbies and interests. That way, when you do interact with those people, you have something right off the bat to talk about. This may mean looking for school clubs that center around a certain topic, or even going online and finding different kinds of meetup groups that share the same passions. And yes, I get it, there's tons of people all over the place, in your classroom, at your job, in the street, everywhere you go, but talking to those random strangers might not be as easy. It might actually make things a little bit more difficult because you're starting from complete scratch in interacting with them. But let's say there's a girl that you've spotted that you really started to like and you want to ask her specifically out. That could be a girl that you've seen in the hallway, in your class, or anywhere for that matter. For people who have autism, reading social cues or even doing things like making eye contact can be a little bit more difficult. So when it comes to interacting with a girl that you like, the same rules still apply. You gotta walk up to her, you gotta introduce yourself, and you gotta be open to talking. Certain social cues you should look for to see whether or not the interaction is going well is whether or not she's paying attention to you when she talks to you. If you're asking her a question like one of the icebreakers that I've put together in my free guide that I've shared with you guys in the past, and see that she's just silently not responding to you or looking away and looking around at other people, that might be a sign that she's uncomfortable in that situation. Another sign you might want to pay attention for is in the process of trying to talk to her, if she's giving you short answers and probably just looking at her phone to just stay distracted, that might be a sign that she's not fully engaged. Let's say, for example, you go up to her and say, hey, I haven't been to the movies in a while, but I want to know what's a good movie to check out. And she just kind of gives you this, I don't know, type of response and doesn't really look at you or do anything like that. That might be the sign you need to say, hey, am I making you feel uncomfortable? Is everything okay right now? If you're unsure where she stands, then don't be afraid to ask. Sometimes putting it out there makes it easier for the conversation to go from being tense to being a little bit more open and social. Now, I've also mentioned in the past the 3 initial steps that everyone should focus on: eye contact, smiling, and saying hi. But making eye contact when you have autism is not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes the girl that you're talking to might feel that if you're not willing to look at her, then you're not fully engaged in the conversation with her, but she doesn't really understand the full context of things then. One technique you can try to kind of work through the whole eye contact thing is, instead of looking her in the eyes, try to look at her forehead or at her nose. If you can focus on something else that's closely related to the face, then it might make it a little bit easier for you to communicate and she might open up more. Now, when it comes to actually asking her out, don't just throw it out there and say, hey, do you want to go out sometime? Because saying something as general as that might not lead to a direct answer. So, like we said before, talk about your hobbies and find people that share similar hobbies. Ask her to go out with you to do something that's related to those hobbies. Let's say you're a baseball fan and you've talked to her already about how you like baseball. One thing you might want to do is to invite her to watch a baseball game with you. Saying something to her like, you know, you're a really cool person and I loved talking to you about baseball here. So how about this Friday we go check out a baseball game together? Setting roots for the date where it's not just simply a date, but it's actually the two of you enjoying an experience together might make it easier for you to open up and share with her because you're in your own zone. You're not in this completely blank state of being in a coffee shop or going for a walk somewhere random, and now you have to generate random conversation. You're in the zone. And finally, another important thing that I think a lot of people with autism tend to struggle with is finding the right balance of how much you should be talking versus how much you should be listening in a conversation. Sometimes when you're nervous, you may feel the need to want to talk a lot just to fill in all those awkward silences and pauses that naturally occur. I think the best thing to do in those type of situations, though, is to ask more questions, to be open to learning more about her. Like I said, check out that 20 icebreaker conversation starters guide that I put together, because in that, those those are direct questions you can talk to her about. You can learn a little bit more about her personality, and you can get her to feel way more comfortable around you. All of the things I've shared are individual steps, so it's up to you to put those building blocks together so you can walk up that staircase and make something happen. I know when it comes to just talking to a girl, having autism makes it 10 times harder for you, but I do think there is a solution. It does revolve around you building your own sense of confidence. I know you already have what it takes. You just need that little push and that little bit of guidance to help you figure out how to maneuver those situations better. But I want to know, what do you think though? What are some of the struggles and challenges you may be facing in talking to the girl that you like? Leave your comments down below and we'll talk about it. If you're in a situation that you want to talk a little bit more privately about, you can always shoot me a DM over on Snapchat or Instagram. I do my best to answer as many messages as I can. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Remember guys, the learning doesn't end here. Check out the videos I have over there on the side if you want to keep learning more about how to interact with someone on a social level. I've done a lot about that, I've talked a lot about it, and I think I have videos that can help you out. On that note guys, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.